Hey everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to the Heroes of the Storm PTR. In today's video, we are gonna be playing as Zeratul, who has received a complete talent overhaul, complete talent rework, excuse me. And yeah, we're going to be testing it in this game, putting it into practice. You can see the talents right there. The few options at level 1, you've got Greater Cleave. That's actually still the same. Gives you a 33% increased radius on your cleave. Vorpal Blade is the one I picked up. It's the exact same as used to be with Zeratul from level 4, except now you can get it at level 1. 15-second cooldown on this. We can activate it to teleport to the last non-structure, I believe it is, that we've basic attacked. And then the final one is called, let me just check here, Shadow Hunter. You can gather regen globes to lower the mana cost of Blink, and then when you finish the quest and you got 20 regen globes, basic attacks lower the cooldown of Blink by 0.75 seconds. Doesn't seem that useful to me, that one. Well, I'm not sure though. One of the really interesting things about this rework is that you still have like the sort of the same old Zeratul build you always had. It's just better. But potentially there could be new ways to play Zeratul opening up. It will take a while though to work those out exactly. In this build, in this game, I'm going to be going for a fairly standard Zeratul build, nothing too fancy. We're going to basically take the build that would be kind of standard at high levels on the live servers and translate that over into this game and see exactly how that's going to pan out. Effectively, what happened is they removed level 1. So at level 1 you had like Regen Master, Block, Seasoned Marksman, those sort of things before. That's gone. That tier's just gone now. And instead they've basically moved all the other tiers up 1. So you normally get Vorpal Blade at 4, Follow Through at 7, then Wormhole at 13. Instead we're going to be able to get those at 1, 4, and 7 instead. So it's going to be a much more powerful early game power spike. Should have waited to attack him until I had my Blink off cooldown. Tychus does a lot of damage. We're in a bit of a tough spot in this lane to start out this game. Gonna be able to grab this regen globe. Tychus could have, if he had grenade off cooldown, he could have waited and thrown it out at that regen globe as it expired. Probably would have killed me. He's gonna be tapping as well at this point. And yeah, here we go. Solo laning against the Tychus. I'll also explain a bit how to play Zeratul. This is not like my greatest game ever on Zeratul. This is pretty late after recording for multiple hours on the PTR, so I was pretty exhausted at this point. But yeah, there'd be a couple of mistakes. I think, for example, there's one mistake later in the game where I literally just don't even spot a tribute spawning until it spawns. I'm like, oh shit, there's a tribute, oops. But it should give you a good insight into how to play him anyway. You can see I'm pinging for help down here. I'll talk about why that's important in a second. And also, as you see, I'm not going into this minion wave or taking any damage off Tychus. My goal is just to stay alive and to do this. Now I've got my my level 4 ability. It's a different bag of fish, basically. Here we go, going back in, actually. And Tychus goes down. Okay, so the reason that fight suddenly took a turn and the lane suddenly took a turn was Combo Slash. That's my talent at level 4. It's basically the follow through talent we had at level 7 before, but now we get it at 4. Whenever we use an ability, it empowers our next basic attack by 40%. So it lets us churn out so much more damage. You can see me doing that to Tychus, weaving my basic attacks in between my ability usage, and backing off. And then when he thought it was safe, going back in with the Vorpal Blade and kind of scaring him away. You can see we're running away here. Go back in. Boom, there we go. Vorpal Blade back in and hit Illidan. Illidan goes down. Pretty nice. But yeah, we caught out. Tychus got completely blindsided by that. That's kind of one of the couple of the examples right there of how to use Vorpal Blade effectively. Juking around the team fight, coming in from unexpected angles, chasing people down, and really combining it with that Combo Slash talent to maximize the use of all those empowered basic attacks. Your other options at level 4, by the way, very powerful talent here, level 4. Extremely powerful. Massive spike in your effectiveness as Zeratul. I think probably one of the strongest level 4 talent tiers now in the entire game. He's going to be very scary early game. Much more scary early game than he has been before. Your other options, you get Rendon Cleave now at level 4. So 40% additional damage from your cleave, your Q, over 3 seconds. That's pretty beastly. It's pretty damn good. And then Grim Task as well, which is basically gathering power on steroids. See, I went too far in here and ended up taking a bunch of damage off that Illidan. Definitely a bit of a mistake. Gonna blink in, hit him with a W. Doesn't quite kill him, almost, but doesn't quite kill him. But definitely an overextension for me. But then we got to punish the Illidan, who overextended a little bit in turn. But yeah, the Grim Task, basically gathering power before. You can see I'm using my Wormhole talent, which I picked up at level 7, by the way. Which lets me reactivate Blink within 2 seconds to go back to where I came from. Using that to get some very aggressive poke in, comboing that once again with a Combo Slash for sort of max damage. Wasn't able to actually get any basic attacks off there. I was hoping they would be standing in the bush, but they weren't. But we did get some ability damage off at the very least. Backing off now because they had that tribute under contest, basically lockdown. I'm not going to go in and attack that wave because obviously the enemy team is nearby. Being a little bit careful. Looking really to Hearthstone out here as soon as possible. We do get some damage down though on the Tychus. Scare him away. And yeah, leave Gul'dan to take care of that. Yeah, so Grim Task. It's your level 4 ability. Or talent. The old Gathering Power used to be 2% ability power for hero takedowns, up to 30%, so you get 15 stacks, 2% per stack, and then you lose them all on death. Grim Task, though, is 4% ability power per takedown, so twice as much ability power per takedown, up to 40%, lose them all on death. So that's only 10 stacks. You only need 10 takedowns to max that out. It's insanely good, and I think that's probably going to be the one that really pushes the Zeratul build towards something else. I hadn't realized when I first did my overview of the PTR patch notes, which you can check out, which will have full coverage of all these Zeratul talents in detail. I hadn't realized just how much better than Gathering Power this talent was, but it's stupidly good. So I don't know, all of those level 4 talents seem so useful. Rendon Cleave obviously giving you the benefits of Grim Task fully stacked, but only on your Q. But like from the get-go, you don't lose it on death. Then Grim Power, obviously just giving you so much, Grim Task, excuse me, giving you so much ability power once you stack it up, and pretty easy to stack. And then Combo Slash, which I'm using in this game. The standard Zeratul play, giving you a lot more consistent damage and powered basic attacks. You can see just how much damage we're able to do here to this Uther, kind of taking him down. Run to the north, Vorpal Blade back over, so we're escaping. Hits then Uther with a Q and a basic attack, then blink in, finish him off with a basic attack, and Wormhole out again. Pretty classic Zeratul stuff right there, going in for those kills. Gul'dan, unfortunately, is late to the fight. He is going to swing up. I think he ran up top lane to heal off minions. It's a little bit slow getting back, but no harm done, really. I mean, we're going to lose this, but not really his fault. He's going in way too aggressively now. There's 3 enemy heroes here, so he's pinging me. I do report this guy later on because he continues being a douche. Not to me, but someone else. But I was like, dude, you're dead. You're dead. There's no way. If I go in there and try to say, you should have run away. If I go in and try to help you, I'm just going to die too. No, thank you. No, thank you. So you can prepare your responses to me reporting. Everyone has something to say whenever I report someone in video. Prepare your responses in advance and enjoy. Nice cue from the Varian. I don't know if he saw me or just want to hit the minions as he was running somewhere else. Possibly they're doing the boss. Possibly they're doing the Mercs. Probably more likely the Mercs. Looks like though that actually going for a top lane gang. So caught a little bit by surprise. Going to pick up Void Prison now at level 10. I'll mention the other level 7 options too, but I do think Wormhole is probably the best. But yeah, Void Prison at level 10. There you go. Void Prison goes down. This one actually not being too effective. But nice fear from the Gul'dan actually coming out. We do take down their hero, the Varian, but the enemy team re-engages, and the power of Tassadar and Uther and Illidan are kind of wrecking face. We're not quite able to pull it off. And in fact, ouch, Kharazim goes down as well. Teammates trying to take down the Illidan. Illidan does go down. A very brawly fight up here to the top lane. The worrying thing, of course, from that fight is that Tychus was the whole time down the bottom lane, just beating on our fort and beating on the towers. So that's the scary thing in the team fights in the future. If Tychus is actually there, they could be pretty tough. They could go pretty badly. I will say this was a difficult game on Zeratul because they have a Tassadar which counters Zeratul pretty well. You know, the shields protects people from the assassinations. You can't assassinate Tassadar because he's too hard to kill with his dimensional shift. Yeah, then he can obviously reveal you in stealth with his trait, his Oracle ability. So difficult to play against in this game. And also, obviously, Tassadar Shields combo exceptionally well with all the heroes that are played on PTR right now. Varian, Illidan. Tychus in this game, a bit unusual, but very effective with that too. Great with Kharazim as well, though they don't have one this time. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. There's the Oracle right there. As you'll notice, actually, the Oracle does not remove stealth anymore. That's another important change in this particular patch. Vision talents won't remove stealth. You'll just see the heroes while they're in stealth, and that's quite a big deal. It just helps you. It's a buff to the stealth heroes, basically, because if it doesn't remove it, you can still get around in it. I don't think Zeratul has any abilities that actually, work in stealth. Gonna finish off that flag and come back in. Unfortunately, we are actually losing this fight, so this is pretty bad. You have to use a defensive VP, which is super not ideal at all. But that's what we do just to escape. And this is a little bit scary right here, actually. Very close to dying to that Tychus grenade. Very close. A bit of luck on our side. But yeah, not the way you want to use VP. But going into this later half of the game, I want you to really pay attention to how the VP is going to be used. I think the next few will be pretty good. And they'll have a pretty large impact on the team fight. I noticed this because I had a ranked game. I think it's actually the Haka game that should be up on the channel where I teach you guys how to play the Haka. I think that's the one. But in that game we had a Zeratul, and the Zeratul was going like, oh, well, I picked the Zeratul, but we don't actually have anything to combo with the Zeratul. You know the way you can put a Ring of Frost or from Jaina or Apocalypse from Diablo through a Void Prison and makes it really easy to hit and it's a good combo. Or, I mean, hey, at the moment, you know, just even something simple like Malfurion roots underneath the Void Prison, they come out and get instantly rooted, yeah? All that sort of stuff. We were looking into doing that. Go in aggressively here, seeing as Varian had popped his heroic, and we just about actually had enough mana to blink out again. But yeah, Varian went in with the Colossus Smash, which does apply vulnerability, so kind of engaging with the Vorpal Blade right there to try follow up on that, try maybe get a kill. We don't quite have enough damage though. Tychus does escape, but so do we with the blink just coming off cooldown, the mana just coming into effect. Got Mending Strikes here at level 13. I think this one looks really good. Other options, by the way, on this tier, you have Spell Shield, same as it's always been, really solid option. And you also have got one called Shroud of Adun, which will generate up to 15% of your max health in a shield every second you're in stealth. It takes 5 seconds to generate the full thing, so 3% of your max health generated as your shield per second. It seems okay. Honestly, this Mending Strikes one seems the best. 40% of the basic attack damage you do just restored his health. That's pretty powerful. It's nice sustain. As you can see, it also crits off the Vorpal, the things. I should have cancelled this VP earlier, left it up too long. And the enemy team, I think, is actually going to rotate around. They're going to leave that tribute and come rotate here. So you're going pretty aggressive with the Vorpal Blade, and then we're backing out again. Greymane continuing to go hard, though. He goes in to try to finish off the Tychus, but the shield from the Testart keeps him alive. Rather unfortunate. Again, I should have cancelled the VP a little bit earlier. Wanted to make sure Greymane got in position, but in fact just let the enemy team get in position. So that one was not too good. They get better from here on, I think. Maybe. But Mending Strikes seems very strong. As you can see here, against Merc Camps, it's a lot of healing. Oh yeah, also, that's a tip, by the way. Wormhole, when you reactivate it to return to where you were, that also gives you a stack of the combo slice. Or combo slash, excuse me. So that gives you an empowered basic attack as well. So you can really kind of churn out a lot of DPS like that. Another thing you could do is like blink forwards, hit someone, Wormhole out, then Vorpal Blade back in, and then hit them again to maximize the damage output. That's one potential option as well. Don't know if I do that in this game, but it's an option. Your level 7 talents, by the way, they're all to do with Blink, effectively. I do think Wormhole is still the best. You can check out the other ones if you want in the PTR video. But I do have to say that the Wormhole one, I don't know. We'll see exactly how things go as things go further forwards. But Wormhole is just so useful, so effective. You've seen multiple uses for it in this game already. Juking around, going aggressive. Yeah, it's just really nice. It's just really, really nice. Get some nice damage down on the Testar. He's going to just shift out, though, again. We can't really assassinate Testar. He's going to kite the Illidan out there. We're in stealth again. He can't get onto us. I'm looking for a fight here. We know the enemy team is rotating in from the bottom bottom right here. So there we go. Get them in the Void Prison. And this is how you use Void Prison without a combo. Isolation, right? So that's 2 enemy heroes, including Tastar, taken out of the fight. Plus the Varian and all the damage he's doing. They're just gone from that fight. They can't get in. And we just isolate and pick off Illidan. Illidan is dead before those heroes even get there. Now the fight's not going too well for us. So after that, Karazin was not... I think he was there. Anyway, going to Vorpal Blade over that wall. Just trying to hunt down this Tastar. Doing what damage you can. Blink over this wall. Again, if heroes jump over a wall after you or something like that, you can then Wormhole back out. Neat little trick. Trying to do as much damage as we can, but I mean, the healing that he gets is just insane. Panic here and make a mistake. Should have blinked. Should have actually run the extra, like, couple of foot to the left and blinked over the wall to the left. Yeah. Definitely a mistake. Going through the turrets and the fort, that was enough to kill us. I don't think we would have died. We would have taken damage for sure and come close to death if we had just run beside those enemy heroes to the other wall. Might have got stunned and killed by something, but I think we would have made it out alive. So just a little bit of panic and we pay the price for it. So yeah, I don't know. Calculate how much damage you can take from each different thing. Enemy team is definitely in the lead. Right now, they're 2 levels up. Tribute, 2 tributes to 2 tributes. Next one's going to be Curse. but enemy team has all their forts and we have none of their of ours. I think I was sending a text or something at this point. But yeah, it was it was one of those things. I had another Zeratul game and we were just kicking ass and stomping everyone. I forgot to press the record button, which is why I was recording this so late at night and was pretty damn tired. Level 16, by the way, picked up Sentenced to Death. While the Singularity Spike, our W, is attached to someone and charging up, we will do a whole bunch of extra damage. Here comes the VP, isolating Illidan. He actually metamorphoses, though, into the thing. Unfortunately, the boss has more health than I expected, so that doesn't work out too well. But the enemy team, they are on top of this. We're all on top of this. Nice fear from the Gul'dan, gets him off the point. We take the boss. Tychus is arriving. Tychus taking people out, but the rest of the enemy team has fled. And we take out the Tychus between the damage of the three of us. So yeah, that was pretty crazy right there. Was really hoping the boss would be on lower health and we could capture it before they got out of the VP or kill the Illidan, but Illidan metamorphosing to a really smart position and being able then to survive while his teammates were inside. The boss was still alive and actually did quite a bit of damage to me, so that was close. That was close, but worked out in the end, just about. Hello, my friend, the Force that killed me earlier, Al. Nice to see you. Hello, Uther. Hit him with the W. Unfortunately, his stuns work really well, so that Sentence to Death talent we picked up, actually not getting any value, and Uther is just kind of stomping our butt. He is kind of stomping our butt right now. Allies are on the way. Hit him with the W. There we go. Gonna delay him a little bit. And just hang out. Hey, Uther. Wormhole in, and wormhole back out again. He does hit us with the basic attacks. We are getting low. There we go, hit him with the W once again, just about picking him off at the end. He hits us with the W, but we have enough life to survive. Varian has arrived, the rest of the team is here. Mostly, Karazim is still coming. But yeah, there you go, we delayed him for long enough to pick it off. Should have blinked over the wall here, I do eventually do it. Should have gone a little bit earlier. I was obviously being a little bit cautious, a bit worried that I could die. Coming in to help out the Varian. Unfortunately, we get picked off by the Illidan. Miscalculated. Illidan's been reworked as well, right? So he hits, with his W build, his basic attacks hit way harder. So he died just as the blink was coming off cooldown, which is really unfortunate. And Illidan actually just wrecking face and killing everyone, actually, at the moment. But yeah, miscalculated because of Illidan rework. On the live servers, we would have been fine. We would have been fine. Alas, it was not to be. Feels bad, man. Feels real bad. But yeah, I will have a video, by the way, up on the Illidan rework really soon. Yeah, this is where I report the Gul'dan. I'm like, you're just being a dick. Like, you're just being a dick. What the hell? It's like, you do realize you're on the PTR, and you do realize that this hero he's playing just received a total talent rework less than 6 hours ago, and you're gonna criticize him for how to play it? It's like, dude, chill out. Don't be a douche. You're just being a douche. I don't know. I just thought it was a little bit sad. You know, it's like, why are you playing? It's like coming and being like, OMG, Varian, why did you pick, you know, the two-handed build, you noob? It's like, well, it's new. It's the PTR. It's your problem. But oh well. This is pretty crazy. Greymane actually escaping with barely any life left, using that Eyes in the Dark to disengage. Illidan is in deep. The music from Varian's thing is playing once again. Gonna grab this well here. And although we have held them off, they still have level 20. So this is still a pretty rough fight for us, especially with everyone being low on health. Their Varian, though, has gone in pretty deep. There we go. Going to come in, do a bunch of damage to him. Vorpal Blade back on top of him and finish him off with their final abilities right there. So, boom, pretty nice. Illidan and Varian both overextending. I managed to take him down. However, we have lost our bottom keep and our top keep. And the middle keep wall, I think, has gone down as well. You know, it's not looking too healthy. So, things, although we've won a couple of fights, I guess, things are not looking too good. I thought this actually made for a sort of a good game, though. A good insight into Zeratul and the new Zeratul. As opposed to just the game before where we were stomping everyone. To actually do one where it was pretty even, actually. Well, in fact, losing. More so than being even is actually being too nice. We're losing. We are losing. But it gives you kind of cool insight. Gonna pick up Rewind here at level 20 to reiterate what that level 16 talent does, just to make it even more clear. Sentenced to Death, 50% increased damage to enemies while they have Singularity Spike attached to them. So while our W is on and charging, we're doing 50% more damage with everything. So this is opening up a cool combo. We hit them with the W, then we hit them with the basic attack, empowered by Combo Slash. then we hit them by our Q, then we hit them by another basic attack and powered by combo slash, all within that one W time frame. Then the singularity spike explodes. Obviously that does 50% more damage as well, and that's a whole chunk of burst. Then we can use rewind in with that as again, and just rewind and then do another W, basic attack Q, basic attack combo, and then we have our E available to blink out at the end as well. So yeah, there's a lot of burst potential, single target burst potential built into this build. Other options at level 16, in case you want to know, you get Void Slash, as a pretty big fight is erupting. Once again, we go in, get the VP down, isolating the heroes out. Illidan is there on his own, should have run into the VP with his allies, and Illidan isolated and picked off once again. That's the power of VP in a team fight. Picking off heroes, get them away from their allies, they can't be helped, and then you're able to focus them down and pick them off. Worked really well in the last couple of team fights. That's what I was talking about at the start of this game. Just because, you know, just because you don't have anything that combos with the VP specifically, it's still one of the best heroics in the entire game. It's so powerful. I was a bit sad they didn't rework Shadow Assault. It's still the same. It still sucks. Which is unfortunate. I don't know why they didn't change it up at least a little bit, but oh well. Getting a bit of harass down on the Tastar. But yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, so the other 16 things, you get Masterwork Blade every third consecutive basic attack against the same target. Will do 125% bonus damage. I feel like this is pretty weak, because it's basically a talent that used to be at level 4 for Zeratul, you know what I mean? It's a level 4 talent moved to level 16, whereas level 16 talents are normally very powerful. So I'm not too sure about that one, but obviously it will fit well inside a basic attack focused build. And then there's also Void Slash. If your Cleave, your Q, hits more than one enemy hero, it'll do 40% increased damage and reduce the cooldown by 3 seconds. So you're going to be able to do a pretty beastly Q build, you know, with the Rendon Cleave at level 4, doing just 40% extra damage over 3 seconds, and then having Void Slash, which will make it do 40% extra damage if you hit 2 heroes, and make it have a 3-second cooldown as well. You're going to be churning out a ton of damage with your Q and AoE. It could be very powerful indeed, very, very scary. And then you could have Greater Cleave at level 1, of course, which would give you more radius and really help you land that on multiple heroes. Very interesting. I'm very curious to see how these other builds work out, for sure. I mean, Zeratul, he's kind of a niche hero, regardless. But you can see, actually, we've done a lot of damage, actually. But he's a pretty niche hero. Here we go, enemy team fight. Actually, this is looking pretty dodgy for us, but there we go. Nice VP this time, once again, getting 3 heroes outside of that. Illidan kind of isolated. He does go into the VP this time, but he gets picked off immediately as he comes out. The enemy team's very in there as well, in a pretty rough position. We've Vorpal Blade in on top of him. He does get protected though, but as soon as it wears off, our teammates pick him off, and down he goes. Awesome stuff. We have a boss on the keep. We're pushing in on the core, and even 2 keeps down. It looks like this is going to be game. We're going in on the Tychus. Tychus soaking up so much damage with the resistance from the Odin and the Tastar shields, but with Varian jumping in with the Colossus Smash, applying that vulnerability on the damage of Varian, we do take him out. And there we go, we're on the core, and this is going to be game, guys. Very close game, very back and forth. In fact, we were losing for most of it. I really do think that it was good. You know, I made some definitely mistakes in this game, for sure. But the VP, right? The VP in those last few team fights, that is what won us the team fights. Without those Void Prisons, we would have lost those fights for sure. So that was pretty cool. I thought it was a good sort of illustration of how that works. And we had some interesting things happen in the game as well, such as being killed by the reworked Illidan, using that level 4 power spike for Zeratul to kill the Tychus in lane after he'd been kind of stomping us. Stuff like that I thought was pretty interesting, and hopefully it gave you guys a good insight into how to play him. It's the same talent build, basically, as you have for Zeratul on the live servers, but everything is just moved up a talent tier. And then at level 13 you get Mending Strikes, which is giving you a whole bunch of self-sustain, a lot of self-sustain. You're going to get that instead of basically the level 1 talents you would have had before. So effectively, you know, instead of Regen Master, getting the regen, the extra health regen, and then eventually very late in the game getting a bonus health, you're going to get at level 13 just a flat 40% of your basic attacks are going to heal you, which is really useful. It will add up to a lot more than the Regen Master regeneration. Obviously you're missing the max health for surviving burst, but you tend to get that very late in the game unless you're on, I don't know, Garden of Terror or something like that. Or Brax's Holdout, I suppose, as well. It's got a lot of regen globes. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool insight into it. The Sentence to Death talent at level 16 is very interesting as well. It's something I was kind of paying attention to during this game was, okay, have to reorient how you're going to play Zeratul in the team fight then. Once you get that level 16 talent, you want to be hitting your W first and then following up with your burst, because you're going to get that 50% increased damage. And then the potential when you combo rewind with that is pretty nuts. It's pretty huge. So yeah, there you go. I'm really loving the Zeratul rework. I think Zeratul was already a strong, albeit, you know, a pretty niche character on the live servers. Very strong in certain situations, but not a hero you pick in every single game. It'll probably be the same now once this PTR rework comes out live. However, he is better than he was before. He has power spikes much earlier. Getting Vorpal Blade at 1, and then very importantly Combo Slash at 4 and Wormhole at 7 opens up so much more gameplay potential for you in the early stages. Whereas, as opposed to, again, on the live servers, you'd have, you know, Block or Regen Master or Seasoned Marksman. You know, well, Block is pretty powerful in the early game, so you're missing out on that. But I think these things outweigh that, and of course, you know, if you have Regen Master or Seasoned Marksman, those are things that scale over the course of the game. So as opposed to like the first, you know, 7, 8, 9 levels, the first few objectives, where you'd be having this kind of shitty scaling talent that doesn't do that much at the early game, now you're having all of your powerful talents coming so much earlier. I mean, like Wormhole at 7 instead of 13 is just huge. It's so huge. It opens up so much more poke, so much more mobility, and crazy potential for Zeratul. So yeah, I think he's tier 1, almost definitely tier 1 assassin in the next patch. He's going to be pretty damn scary, and I expect to see quite a lot of him. This is, as I said, the standard sort of high level build. Be curious to see what other builds open up, what's going to be more effective. Obviously, you're going to have Q builds coming out. You have a more auto attack focus build going out. This one is just this one is focused on like single target isolation and assassination, and mobility and flexibility. That's why it's kind of currently on live servers. It is the best one overall, roughly. Might tweak a couple of tiers here and there, but yeah, it's still gonna work just as well, and we might have more builds coming out, so that's pretty cool. Who knows? Maybe someone will even make Shadow Assault useful. Anyway, guys, give it a like if you liked the video, and I will see you all next time for more PTR coverage. Still have to do a game with Illidan, and still have to do a game with Karazim. If there's any other heroes you want me to cover, let me know. Those are the main ones. I think that's all we'll probably need to cover. As far as I remember, off the top of my head, there's no other huge changes. But yeah, Illidan and Karazim, stay tuned for those if you want. I also have the variant videos are up on the channel, so check out those. We got a variant video for every single configuration of his heroics, the tank spec, the two-handed spec, and the dual wheel spec. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.